Whether you're an Apple fan or not, there's no denying the fact that the XDR display and the Studio display are objectively two of the most gorgeous displays on the market. They also look and feel the most premium because they are made from aluminum, unlike every other display that's made from plastic. So when I saw the new display that Samsung showed off at the CES called the ViewFinity S9, saying it looks like the Apple Studio display is an understatement. It's basically a rip-off of Apple Studio display, but I'm not even mad at that. As a matter of fact, I encourage it. I'm a firm believer of tech companies copying great designs and features from other companies, just so we can have a competitive marketplace. And so it's only right that I made a comparison video between the two displays in the same category, the ViewFinity S9 and the Studio display. Let's begin with the display. Both displays have a 27-inch 5K display with a resolution of 5120 by 2880 pixel. That's 218 pixels per inch. And because of this high resolution, images can be extremely detailed and clear, making them ideal for creative professionals like graphic designers and photographers. The Apple Studio display has a glossy glass finish, while the Samsung ViewFinity S9 on the other hand has a matte display that reduces light reflection and glare. Now, the Studio display can be customized with nano texture glass that reduces glare and reflection, but that costs an additional $300. But in my opinion, the glossy finish of the Studio display is gorgeous to look at, with images looking more vibrant than on the matte display or nano texture glass. The Studio display also comes in at 600 nits of brightness, meaning for it to be bothered about reflection on the glass, the windows would have to be opened directly behind you with sun rays beaming straight on the glass. As for the ViewFinity S9, it's not yet known how many nits of brightness it comes with, but regardless of how bright it is, a glossy glass finish will always be more vibrant, so I guess Apple Studio display takes the point here. Now, when it comes to the color gamut and display accuracy, the ViewFinity S9 covers 99% of the DCI-P3 color space, which is wider than the Studio display's 98.2% DCI-P3 color space. This means that the ViewFinity S9 can technically display a wider range of colors, theoretically resulting in a more accurate and realistic color representation. And this is especially important for creative professionals whose work requires precise color accuracy. The ViewFinity S9 also includes a color calibration engine, which allows users to fine-tune white balance, gamma, and RGB color balance using their smartphone and the Samsung Smart Calibration application. Both displays come factory calibrated, so you can just use them straight out of the box. So who wins in this category? I would say the Samsung maybe, just based on the wider color gamut. The Apple Studio display has a built-in 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera, while the ViewFinity S9 has a 4K slim fit camera that's detachable. Now, I would like to say that the image quality from the Studio display's camera is nothing to write home about, but that doesn't mean I can give the win to the ViewFinity S9 either, because the camera hasn't been put to test yet. But if it uses the same sensor as on their M8 smart monitor, you might as well throw it into the trash because it will also be equally bad. Alright, let's talk about the audio quality. The Studio display has a high fidelity 6-speaker system that is the best in any monitor to date. I would even go as far as just concluding now that the ViewFinity S9 would have an inferior audio quality even though it has not been tested yet. That's just how good the audio quality from the Studio display is and how much it blows the competition out of the water. So I'll give the winner in this category to the Studio display. So when it comes to connectivity, the ViewFinity S9 has 3 USB-C ports and a Thunderbolt 4 port which supports daisy chaining, plus an additional mini display port. While the Apple Studio display has 3 USB-C ports and a Thunderbolt 3 port which does not support daisy chaining, and that's it. The Thunderbolt ports on both monitors support power delivery, with the ViewFinity S9 supporting up to 90 watts of charging, while the Studio display supports 96 watts. So as far as connectivity goes, Samsung takes the win in this category because it has more port options and also supports daisy chaining. Both monitors are made from aluminum, giving them a premium appearance and feel. The ViewFinity S9 comes with a tilt and height adjustable stand, but the Studio display only comes with a tilt adjustable stand or a VESA mount adapter by default, and that's it. You'll have to pay an additional $400 to get height adjustability with the Studio display, which is just ridiculous if you'd ask me. But the one thing I would say though is the fact that it's so well engineered that it can be smoothly adjusted with just a single finger, allowing you to precisely adjust it to any specific height. This makes the Studio display very sturdy, like you will never see this display wobble when you're adjusting the height or even shaking the table. The ViewFinity on the other hand, at least from what I saw on the floor of CES, doesn't have that smooth height adjustment. You basically have to use both hands to adjust the height, and to make things worse, it wobbles when you adjust the height. Now, here's my gripe. If you're gonna copy Apple, why not copy them to the T and even make some improvements of yours on top of it? Why not throw in a similar height adjustment mechanism so you can truly compete with them on all fronts? Now, that being said, I will give the winner of this category to the Studio Display. Of course, I'm aware this comes at a more premium price, but I guess you get what you pay for. If you're a Mac user, the Apple Studio Display has an advantage in terms of integration with other Mac devices, such as instant wake-up feature that's available on M1 Mac Silicon, and being able to adjust things like brightness directly through macOS. True Tone technology is also included with the Apple Studio Display, which adjusts the display's white balance to match the ambient light in the room, resulting in a more natural and comfortable viewing experience. But you only get the full benefits of all these features when you use the Studio Display with a compatible Mac device. Most of these features won't play too well when you pair it with a Windows device. The ViewFinity S9 on the other hand will play a lot better with Windows devices, but you will not get the full integration that the Studio Display offers when paired with a Mac. So who wins in this category? Well, for Mac users, the Studio Display, but for Windows users, I guess we'll just have to wait till the ViewFinity S9 is put to the test. As far as price goes, even though Samsung has not yet released the official pricing of the ViewFinity S9, it's obvious that it's going to be cheaper if they want to compete. And the thing with something like a Samsung display is that the price drops a few months after its release, something you never see with any of Apple's products. So, which display is right for you? Well, this is why I pulled the typical YouTuber card off. It depends. Basically giving you an inconclusive response. Both monitors are excellent choices for creative professionals, and even though the ViewFinity hasn't been tested yet, I can make some safe conclusions based on my gut feelings. The Apple Studio Display has a brighter display and superior speaker system, whereas the Samsung ViewFinity S9 has a wider color gamut and higher color accuracy. If you want a display that's as gorgeous as the Studio Display but are on a budget, then the ViewFinity S9 is for you. The resolution and PPI mean it will scale perfectly well with macOS. Also, if you're a Windows user and are trying to decide between both, just get the ViewFinity S9, it's a no-brainer. You'll have no hassles with losing functionalities on Windows OS. But if money isn't an issue and you're a Mac user, it's a no-brainer. Just get the Studio Display. You'll get the best user experience. Now, if you're on the market for the Studio Display right now, I think you might want to hold off a little bit as Apple might be releasing an updated version this year. And if you want to learn more about this new display coming from Apple, I talked about it in my last video. It will be somewhere on the screen. Thanks for watching and stay safe.